What is up, everyone? It is Antonio Vargas here on Larger Scale. This video is to talk about why I decided to do the gastric sleeve surgery. We'll start with some stats first. I am 30. I am 30 years old. Uh, I am 500 pounds, and I am 5'4", 5'5" ish, around there. Um, so needless to say, my BMI is uh, really considered morbidly obese. Um, so why I decided to do this surgery? I've been overweight since I was a kid. Uh, at a very young age. I think I was considered overweight when I was 4 years old, and for the longest time, the doctor said I would grow into. I would grow into it. It wouldn't be fixed. It would be fixed, and it wouldn't be a big deal in my future. Unfortunately, as you can see, it became a big deal. Um, so throughout the years, all my life, my parents, my family members have been concerned about me. I have been concerned about myself, to be honest with you, and in addition to all of this, I do suffer from bipolar disorder. Um, how I got this way? Well, to be honest with you, when I was young, my sorry about that. When I was young, my I'm not gonna say which parent or whatever, but my parents used to encourage me. Like when I was sad or when I was upset, um, or kind of when we got into it, like as a sorry way or a way to make me feel better, I was comforted with food. Because in Spanish culture, unfortunately, food is love, food is care, food is everything. Food is part of who we are. I got a really long hair there, but all right. So what ended up, unfortunately, because I was encouraged with this, like with how food is comforting and all that, unfortunately, I found comfort in food. When food should have never been comfort, food should have never been in the equation of me being sad, upset, or whatever, right? So that's basically it. And when I was, as the years, I just kept gaining weight and gaining weight and gaining weight. And I've tried a lot. Like it's exhausting. I literally am at the point where I don't know what to do anymore sometimes. I've been, I went to the gym. I've been going to the gym still. Even as I do my OptiFast, which is only, like, for the record, I'm only ingesting 900 calories a day. I started this on the 20th. I am now on the 13th, or what day is it today? Sorry, give me a second, people. Oh yeah, it is the 13th. Holy shit. Okay. So we are on the 13th now, and my surgery's is in a matter of days, like on Monday, the 17th. So I am literally 4 days, well, yeah, 4 days away from surgery. I don't want to say 4 days because it's in the morning. But anyways, there's that. So I've tried a lot. I used to go to the gym. I tried Dr. Bernstein's. And if you don't know what Dr. Bernstein's is, it's a really expensive program where they inject B12, uh, into onto your ass cheek or your stomach, and it's just basically a quicker. It makes B12 helps you makes you lose weight quicker, and you follow a special diet and what have you. I've gone on diet plans. I've gone on periods where I've worked out. I've dropped a lot of weight, but just to, unfortunately, gain it back. And yeah, so that's where this has gone. And like, to be honest, like, I lost a lot of weight. I lost a lot of weight like 2 3 years ago, and I was doing really well on my own, and I began to feel, I don't know what it was. I moved to another town, I moved to another town, started school, decided to start college, and admittedly, before I started college, I was going through a down spiral. I was feeling really, really down and anxious and all that stuff. Not about school, but just about my life and aspects of my life. Um, and I was going through one of my cycles. We'll call it my my down cycles through my bipolar. Um, so uh, that has always been something that has uh, caused me to either gain weight or lose weight as well, because when I was younger, when I first was diagnosed with bipolar, I was 14. I would go days without eating anything, but then as I got older, it's like that wasn't the case. I'd end up eating more because I was feeling down as a way to comfort myself. Sorry. Trying to find a way to get comfortable here. We'll just have to do this old school style. All right. So, yeah, ultimately, that's kind of what happened there. So, there was that, and as I was, um, as a kid, my sister, I'm not going to mention any names, but my sister and I kind of had a rough childhood. Our parents weren't getting along. They ended up leading to a divorce, but they should have, they divorced when we were 16. It was in high school, whatever age you're supposed to be in high school, but they should have divorced when we were like when we were 4 years old. Like, they were on and off for years. And there was a lot of stuff going on in the house that made it difficult. And I was always for my sister, I was always the big brother, always the one who was who always felt like I needed to protect her and be there for her. And um and she doesn't have a weight issue at all. Like, luckily, I'm so happy she doesn't have a weight issue, because my dad is overweight, my mom's overweight. So it wasn't it wasn't easy. um Another thing was that my mom admits that, like, when because she was young, she was young when she uh started dating. Well, she was young when she was with us, actually, when she had my sister and I. And she admitted that, when she was when she moved out of home, her home, she was like her first time getting to see pop and junk food and stuff like that. So she really enjoyed it while she was pregnant with me. There's so many things that it could be. To be honest with you, the major one I think it is using food as a comfort thing. And the only reason why I say this is because as I've gone through this OptiFast thing, um, the first 7 days is like absolutely insane. It is like you are going through a mental battle. It is like a full on mental battle, because you're wanting something, but you don't know why. You're beginning to reflect. I reflected a lot and, like, am I actually hungry, or what am I doing? Like, why am I thinking like this? Like, like, I really wanted to get down to what this really was. So understanding myself was a big part of me being successful in the OptiFast, and hopefully a major part of me being successful in the gastric sleeve surgery. So yeah, that's the reason why, and that's a little bit of my past and why I decide and why I am the way I am. Um, lastly, not lastly, but the other thing is, I don't care if people are gonna judge me for doing this surgery. Like, for lack of a better term, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You don't know what it has been like to live my life, all my life, like this. And right now, because I'm going through the OptiFast and I've been losing weight, I'm down weight and I'm feeling more energetic. Like, I'm only no, I don't want to say only, but I'm down 38 pounds. I'm down 38 pounds since I started the OptiFast, and I've been working my ass off. Before this surgery, before it happened, like it wasn't just something that I decided. I got up one day and I decided. No, I was 18 years old when this option was first offered to me. And when I was 18, I went to the appointment, and I don't know how it is for anybody else in other towns or other cities or other countries at that. But I went to the consultation, and there was a big group of people who were talking about doing the surgery, and they were talking about things that you will have to give up. Things I had to give up was like, sorry, my eyes bugging me. Things I had to give up was would have to give up was things like alcohol and eating and all that. And to me, at 18 years old, alcohol was the big one. It was just like, well, I've barely lived my life. Like I haven't drank, I haven't, like there's so much I haven't yet experienced. And regretfully sometimes I think about that moment when I could have said, "Let's go. Let's do this." I denied that surgery. And I remember that car ride home with my dad. My dad was really, really upset with me for saying, no, I can do this on my own because I don't want to give up this and this and this. And again, I don't know why alcohol and all that was so important, but I was 18. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm glad, I regret it, but I think it was a good idea. Although it didn't seem like a mature decision. It was a very mature decision in the sense that I wasn't ready for something like this. I wasn't ready for the grand scale, of what I had to give up and all that. I wasn't ready for it, and if I wasn't ready, this wasn't going to be successful because it's not easy. I am now 30 years old, and I've gone through the whole process. First, the consultation. We talk about the consultation. I was already aware. I already knew what I had to give up, so that didn't bug me none. I already knew because of the first time I went when I was 18. I haven't forgotten about it. And then I went through their whole thing. Um, I went for blood work. So, in order to get the pass to get the surgery, you have to go see. You have to see a nurse, if required, a psychologist, and a dietitian, and you have to pass all their tests. All their tests. It's not just like, oh, you're ready for the surgery, let's go. Because I began this process when I was 28. I knew I wanted to do the surgery when I was 28. I knew what I wanted to do. I've had enough. My highest weight was 600 something. I've managed not to get that far up, but I came close. I came pretty fucking close, and I didn't want to come that close ever again. Because as I get older, you begin to realize that your muscles are going. My knees always sore. My left knee is always sore. My back sometimes bad. And the more weight I put on it, the more stuff I'm stacking on top of it, the more problems I'm going to have. So realizing that this was going to be my life and it was going to get any worse, I knew I had to do something. Now, although I knew I had this surgery coming on the way or what have you, I decided to sign up for school. Now, we'll get into that a little bit. I do kind of regret signing up for school, but we'll talk about that a little bit. Why? So, I was 28. I decided I've had enough of this shit. So, what I did was I went to the clinic. Not even to a family doctor, because at this point I didn't have a family doctor. I went to the clinic and said, listen, I need a referral to go do this surgery. And luckily the doctor was awesome, because he didn't have to, because he was from a clinic. Like, what doctor from a clinic will refer you? He referred me for the surgery. He told me, I remember that day I was in tears. I was sad because I felt like I was throwing in the towel. I've gone to the gym. I've been going to the gym. I was doing everything and anything possible to lose the weight. And I just felt like no matter what I tried to do, I lost the battle because I couldn't do more than one thing at once. If I was working, I was trying to focus on work. If I was in school, I was trying to focus. I was on school. If I was working my diet, I was trying to focus on being on my diet. The balance of losing weight is like such a huge grand scale, sorry, and like it was kind of why I called my channel Larger Scale, because I want people to see the larger picture of this. This is not just something that we decide, everybody decides to do because, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. There may be people like that there, but it's not everybody. And I want people to get it. Like, you know, like for me, I know this surgery has so many risks and whatever, you know, but the risk if I don't go through with this surgery is I might die. I remember when I was young, a doctor told me I wasn't going to live past 30. I'm lucky, like, knock on wood. I don't have diabetes, I don't have anything like that, but I will end up with that shit if I don't fix this shit. My dad is completely ill, and I don't want his problems. I don't want him to see me go through the same problems, and I want to be able to help them. I want to show them the right, like, you know, like I want them to get into the diet plan and all that. Like I want them to live as long as they can, you know, like it's not the it's difficult. um Anyways, sorry about that. Anyways, but I digress. I was 30 years old. I mean, 28 years old, and I decided that I was going to go for this surgery. I went to the consultation again. I knew exactly what was going to happen. I never got past the consultation last time, so I didn't know how difficult things were going to be through the process. Because I thought I was going to be in and out of the surgery, because I was already ready, because I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to quit smoking. I knew I had to quit drinking, and at that point, I wasn't drinking. There was no reason for me to drink. It was just I had my fun, and I didn't even drink a lot. I make it sound like I was drinking like crazy. No, I didn't drink a lot. I controlled my drinking, and I just hadn't drank for a while. I wasn't smoking anymore. I quit smoking about 5 years ago. So I knew that I thought that this process would have gone a lot faster. And it didn't go faster because, admittedly, because of myself. I procrastinated, but not procrastinated because I didn't want to do this. I was just tired. I was exhausted. Um, so what happened was I went to my appointment with the dietitian, or the nurse. The nurse gave me a list of all this blood work I had to get done. B12. There's a bunch of it. Like, I mean, like a list, one regular sheet of paper full of blood work I had to get. You know, like my kidneys, my B12, my kidney. I said kidney. My vitamin D, my lithium, all that fun shit. I had to literally get that tested. Um, so yeah, I did all of that, and my vitamin D kept coming back low. And unfortunately, the process of getting an appointment, between getting an appointment and doing the blood work, was harsh. Like I was putting off getting my vitamin D3 retested every time because I was in school. I was studying a program that was brand new to me. It was something I wasn't familiar with, something I've never put into practice before, and something I've never learned. It was video game development, and I'm still studying it here and there. I'm actually gonna study after this video here. Uh, but but yeah, so I was studying that, and it was just so exhausting. I was studying day and night. I would put so much work into everything, because it was new for me, and there was people that were over really experienced, and I didn't want to fall behind. I really wanted to do this. I really want to study game programming. So I really wanted to do this. So I was putting everything in and I had to. Unfortunately, in this process, my health fell to the side. Got hard because I was seeing the dietitian and all that. The dietitian required me to cook my meals, make a journal of what I was cooking, uh, make a journal of what I was eating, just period. So I had to show that I could follow the diet regularly. I had to show that I was able to follow the diet regularly, and lose weight, obviously. So, excuse me, I had a hard time with that. I had a really hard time with that because at the beginning I was losing weight, like I was dropping weight, dropping weight. I was following everything to the T and all that, and because I was just beginning the program, the school program, it was easy at the beginning because there's barely anything. You're just kind of learning. There's no homework. There was nothing really complicated whatsoever that I had to do, which was awesome. So I thought to myself, okay, I can manage all this. I got this. This is simple. Um, so yeah, there's that. I underwent to go. Undergone a psychological. I went to go see a therapist. Sorry, psychologist, and she was awesome, absolutely amazing. I was on Zoloft from the age of 14. Now, if you know anybody with bipolar disorder, you never, never, never give somebody with bipolar disorder an antidepressant by itself, or you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Because you're only controlling one state. A person with bipolar disorder goes through ups and downs, and they were only controlling one side. So she took me off the Zoloft, and she put me on lithium. Sorry, my nose is like clogged right up for whatever reason. Um, so yeah, like lithium was my saving grace. It was huge difference that it made. Like I felt so calm. Like I didn't know that my mind wasn't always supposed to be going. Like I always felt like it was going before, and it just calmed me down quite a bit. It was nice. It was different. It was different than what I was used to. I was 14 over 50, like, yeah, 15 years, 15, no, 14, 15 years. Um, I've been on, I've been on this Zoloft stuff, and it kept getting re-prescribed to me every time I was going through one of my down states, that they kept putting me back on it, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working like it should, and admittedly, that's probably why I went off of it so many times, because it seemed to make things worse for me when I went through one at the beginning, and it was just not good. Anyways, I digress. But I'm okay now. I got myself leveled. Everything's good. And that was another thing that made the surgery process take long. They couldn't get my lithium levels, blood levels where it needed to be. It is now where it needs to be, so we're perfect. Um, so yeah, as I was saying, I was in school, and it was really hard as the semesters kind of went on and things got harder, and that's expected. But it got so hard to the point where I couldn't manage to cook every day, to go to the gym every day, and try to study. Even on my weekends, I was up till 4 in the morning studying, and I was working on top of that, a part-time job. So managing all this at once was just way, way too much. Way, way too much. So I finally made the decision, uh, January. I kind of got sick, and I just felt I was sick with it was a leg infection, cellulitis. Um, I was sick with cellulitis. It took me off school for 2 weeks or a week and a half. I was on IV. The doctor said I shouldn't move around too much, and whatever. But that was a good time to reflect. It kind of made me realize that I was struggling. I was struggling with my health. I was struggling with everything. I wasn't doing okay. Like nothing was, like I was sore all the time. I was tired all the time. I was getting sick. Like this, I kept getting sick. It wasn't just that. I don't remember what it was, but I was just getting sick so easily. My immune system felt like it was giving up on me. And then finally, I was just like, I gotta take this surgery more serious. I hadn't been called for them for a while, and I got a little discouraged because I felt like, okay, maybe this isn't gonna happen. So I gotta get serious about this surgery. So what I decided to do is I'm gonna drop the program for now and come back to it. And that is the reason why I regret school, because I don't think it was the time. It wasn't time. I wanted it to be time, and my dad unfortunately was pushing me a little bit, but I didn't realize on a grand scale what I was trying to do everything at once. So yeah, that was that. So I ended up dropping the program. Uh, Started focusing more on cooking and putting more emphasis on those kinds of things. Just really trying to perfect everything I can for myself. So, lastly, and sorry guys, I know this is a very long video, but if you get through it, all the words to you. But I think anybody who's going through the surgery or something like that has some sort of story that they need to tell. So, the last thing here is that finally I got a call that I would be doing the surgery. I need to meet the surgeon. And I was like, oh fuck, like I had probably gained weight and probably, like, because I haven't been taking care of myself. I knew I wasn't taking care of myself. I fucking knew. So when the surgery day came, I mean, when the day to come meet with the surgeon for the first time came, I met with the surgeon, and of course, I gained weight. The surgeon cut me a break because the last 3 visits I came in, he's like, "You've lost a lot of weight," and he asked me the question, "Why are you gaining weight?" Well, I'm like, "Well, I've been sore and all that," but it wasn't just that. I was discouraged because I hadn't heard from them. I just thought this wasn't gonna happen. I just thought I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. Like I did everything they asked me to, and they didn't call me for months. No, like what's going on? So I had called them in between at some point of when they called me and when I dropped the program. I'm like, when is this happening? What's the next step? And they said, we're just waiting. Okay, and I just waited for them. But yeah. So then I got the call. I'm now on the surgery on the 20th. My appointment was on my first appointment was on my appointment was on the 20th of June, and the surgery's on the 17th, 20th of May, and the surgery's on the 17th of June. So there's a little insight to why I got to this place where I am right now. And all you naysayers, you can say whatever the hell you want. I really don't care anymore. I've put too much work into this. I'm tired. Like, I'm really tired. And I don't. This is not how I'm meant to live. I'm a high energy person stuck in a big body at this point in time. And it's hard. It's getting harder to walk. It's getting harder to do these things. And and with this OptiFast thing happening, I've really learned how to reflect on food and what it is and what it does to me and why I'm eating and I really feel more ready for this surgery than anything. I think OptiFast was the greatest thing I could have ever done. I hate the shit. It's disgusting, but but it made me really reflect on my relationship with food. And I think after I get the surgery, I want to go see a therapist or something regularly because I want to make sure that the surgery is successful. I want to make sure. I really do. I don't want to fail. I'm done failing. Anyways, guys, on a lighter note, I know I can do this. This is Antonio Vargas on larger scale. Like, share, and comment as always. Later, guys. Deuces.